But I think that this, I'll call it a cartoon, is a little bit of how we work through life in general. So when everything is going right, we don't pay attention. And we should pay attention. We should pay attention all of the time. And that's what mindfulness and meditation does for us, is it shows us how we can pay attention even for microseconds. But everything is going right, we don't notice. When everything falls apart, we react. We may even fall apart. We might get emotional. We react internally. But the point is that we react. And then what it goes on to say is maybe the key to happiness is just noticing. Noticing what's good, noticing what's not good, and just being in that kind of space and noticing. And that's what I'm hoping for you to get out of what we're going to experience today, is the noticing part. Last week we did some breathing, and we're going to do that again. We're going to bring in a bit of a mantra into it, and it's super simple. Super simple. I say that meditation is simple, but it's not easy, if that makes sense. I say that because if it was easy, we would just do it all the time. We tend to want to shy away from things that are difficult, even though we know that they are really good for us. There's a lot of scientific research around how mindfulness and meditation is really good for us. So I'm hoping for you to just notice. I'm going to stop sharing this now, and we're going to get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm adjusting myself here so you can do the same. You're welcome to sit. You're welcome to stand. You're welcome to lie down. The point being that get yourself into a comfortable position. You can have your video on or off, up to you. And I'm going to keep mine on. And the only reason that shutting off your video can be helpful so that you're not trying to look at a screen at something or someone. But the other thing that we can do is close down the eyes. So let's get started there. So if you're choosing to sit, your feet are flat beneath you. Your palms are rested on your thighs or your laps, or you're even welcome to fold the hands in together, clasping the fingers. And if you're standing, that's good too. Just sitting or standing, actually, you can roll the shoulders a couple of times just to notice that, and then allow the shoulders to relax back. If you're standing, notice your feet on the floor. If you're seated, notice your feet on the floor. If you are lying down, notice the connection your body has with the floor beneath you. Wherever you are, just notice, but notice without judgment. And again, there will be periods of silence. When it's silent, your mind likes to wander. And that's totally normal. We have 50,000, they say 50,000 thoughts that go through our mind a day. That's a lot. So you just notice and you let it go. And when you notice those things, you can come back to your breath. So it's a nice and easy breath in and out through the nose. So you can notice the breath. You can go back to noticing the connection that you have with the floor beneath you, with the chair, however you've chosen to take your posture. And you can always come back to the sound of my voice as well. You can try and elongate the exhales just a little bit longer than the inhales. Noticing if the breath is long and has an easiness about it. Perhaps it's short. Perhaps it's a little bit higher up in the chest, or maybe it goes long and deep into your diaphragm. Again, wherever it is, just notice. There's no need to react. If your eyes are closed, you may want to draw them to just behind the eyebrows. Your eyes are closed. They're just focused at a point above the eyebrows. And with the exhales a little bit longer than the inhales, just notice how that feels. In your mind's eye, your next inhale, I am calm. And on the exhale, I am at ease. Inhaling, I am calm. And exhaling, I am at ease. Our breath rhythms are all a little bit differently. Some are shorter, some are longer. So you move with your breath. You can repeat these words inwardly in alignment with your breath. Inhaling, I am calm. And exhaling, I am at ease. Continuing just as you are. I'm calm on the inhale, and I am at ease on the exhale. Regardless of distractions, of noise, of thoughts, chatter, I am at calm, I am at ease. Commit to these next 5 breaths. I am calm on the inhale, and I am at ease on the exhale. When you've finished your 5th cycle of breath, you can slowly open up your eyes. You can come back to the room. If your video is off, you can turn your video back on. You can maybe roll your shoulders. Might even shake your hands out a bit. Change your posture a bit. And welcome back. So I am open to feedback. If you want to sit in contemplation, that's okay too. See a thumbs up there. But if you remember during part of that exercise, and that was, actually I'll ask you a question, you can put this in the chat. How long do you think that was? How many minutes do you think that was? And put that in the chat. We had 5 minutes. Any other guesses out there? 5 to 8 minutes. Yeah, so I'm really happy to hear that most of you thought it was shorter than what it was. Because sometimes when we go into these states and our mind is quite busy and we're thinking about the next thing that we have to do, we can think that it's longer than what it is. So we were there for about 7 minutes. But at one point when I was guiding you through that, I had said something about the I am calm and that the I am at ease. I chose those words because of, to go back to that cartoon where it's like, something bad happened or something in my mind that is bad has happened, I'm going to react to it. Well, what if we could use those same words when we're in a position that is uncomfortable? And I'm not suggesting that if there's an element of danger, like, no, you need to keep yourself safe. But I tend to go back to the dentist because a lot of people are quite intimidated by going to the dentist. So when I sit in the dentist chair, I will close my eyes. I will, try and tune out the noises and repeat those words to me. I am calm on the inhale and I'm at ease on the exhale. And there was also an ask, and I'm not sure if the person who submitted this ask on the feedback, there will be feedback after this as well, but on the last feedback, someone had asked about managing pain through mindfulness or meditation. So I'll preface all of this to say that if you're dealing with some sort of health issue, you need to speak to your health practitioner about that and make sure that you're getting the medical attention that you need. But if you're looking for something like how to deal with a headache other than taking ibuprofen, you could sit in a meditative state and do something like this. I am calm and I am at ease. Your headache could be contributed by a number of other factors as well, but distraction is one way of dealing with pain. So something small like a headache, I am calm and I am at ease, could help. And you may have to do something else for yourself. Sometimes our headache is caused from dehydration, so drinking water could also help, but so does ibuprofen. I use ibuprofen, but this can also be helpful. There is a question here in the chat about what is the difference between being calm and at ease. Personally, I don't think that there is a difference. I think that it's just words, and you can use whatever words that work for you. So if I'm calm and I'm at ease, don't work for you, pick something else, right? Like maybe you're looking for a different shift altogether, like gratitude, and it could be, I am grateful. Or maybe peace is a better word for you. I feel peaceful. Could be something like that. So for me, there is no difference. Those are just words that I choose to use because they work for me. But exploring mindfulness and meditation, through exploration, you will find what works for you and what doesn't. Sometimes it's simply who the person is delivering it. And a lot of people tell me that my voice is quite calming, but there could be others who go, I don't like Michelle's style at all. I have to explore, and that's okay too. You know, it's everyone has a different perspective, a different need, and this is just a good opportunity for you to explore. That's insightful as well, Poppy. So if you look at the chat there, you'll see it you got to thinking about how you feel. And so, and that's okay too. You might not want to be calm. You might feel completely different. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing, Poppy. We have a few more minutes. If there's anyone who wants to unmute, put themselves on their camera, share in a different way. What I'll also say about this exercise is that you can do it anywhere. So it's really beautiful outside here in Vancouver these days. So you could go for a walk and all of a sudden find yourself in an area where there's more people than you would like there to be. And that could be one way of, okay, you want to walk mindfully through that, the group of people or the crowds or whatever's making you feel uncomfortable. But you could also walk and just draw in those words if they work for you. You know, I am calm, I am at ease, rather than reacting. That's what this is. That's a big part about what mindfulness and meditation is about, is try not to react, but be observant. What's at the core of what's causing you to feel uncomfortable? And there's lots of things in life that makes us feel uncomfortable, and we can grow from that discomfort. And then there's the other types of discomfort where it's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be here at all. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this at all. Again, I go to the dentist. Going to the dentist is, no one in my family is a dentist, so this is not self-promoting in any way. But going to the dentist promotes good hygiene, oral hygiene, and that's good for our health. So it might feel uncomfortable, but it's good for us to go and get a checkup and a cleaning and all that sort of stuff. But then there could be other situations that we choose to put ourselves in that are not good for us. And we may not realize it until that anxiety hits us, if that makes sense at all. So it's just that not reacting. Yeah, I agree with your statement there, Poppy, that I live in a place where there's lots of condos around me, and I noticed last night on balconies that there were 6-8 people on their balcony, and they all can't live there. Like they didn't look like family members, I'll say it that way. So I think that's where the reaction is coming from, perhaps your reaction, where it's like, really, like, can you not give me more space? This happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was done very tastefully. And it's a story that I share because I learned from it. So a couple of weeks ago, my husband and I were on our bicycles, and it got to a little bit later in the day when there were more people out on the paths. And as I was trying to navigate the people, I rode by this runner, and all he said to me was 2 meters. And I thought, you know what, that's fair. I got too close. So that could be something that you try, or you just find a different place to walk, or you work through it in a way that makes sense for you. But those 2 words, 2 meters, stayed with me. And I've shared that with some family and friends as well. It's so the reaction can also be inward. So we might not outwardly say anything, but inwardly we're hanging on to that anxiety. So it's important for you to notice it's not just what comes out of our mouth, but what's happening in the body as we are in those situations where people aren't moving out of the way. It's not an easy, this is where it might be simple, but it's not easy. We are coming up to our half hour. I wanted to leave a minute just for any final thoughts before we close, or Tanya, if you have any closing comments.
Hi, Michelle. Did I unmute myself? I think I did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Closing comments is that this is great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that you're offering your time to do this for us. I hope our participants feel the same. I will be sending out a feedback form just like I did last time, so we can hear what people thought or what they would be interested in seeing or hearing for next time. So next week we'll be back next Monday at, oh, hold on a second. Next Monday we are doing,
oh, that's right.
No, it's Wednesday we're meeting next week at 10 a.m. So looking forward to it very much. Thank you again, Michelle.
You're very welcome. Thank you all for taking this time for yourself. You should be very proud about that. It's not easy to do sometimes, and sometimes the hardest part is just getting here. So little pat on the back, bit of gratitude for yourself and this time that you've taken for yourself. And feedback is always welcome. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone.